Let's rock and roll. This episode of Hobby with Cage brought to you by Plika Trading and Arena Club. Having some fun. Having some fun. Most people listening to this are of a certain age, I think. People who are similar in age to me. How to find balance. The first thing that I thought of was Karate Kid, where Daniel LaRusso is trying to learn balance on by kicking into the waves and then standing on the the post at the beach trying to learn the crane kick Mr. Miyagi's doing there, and they tipping him up on the boat. There's all these things that are trying to get you out of balance, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind, right? And he's yelling at the end. He's like, "I'll never find balance that way." I was thinking about that this weekend because I had a nice weekend. My daughter was in a high school drama show. We got to watch that, and got to hang out with my son and watch some football, throw the ball around with him a little bit, and it just keeps getting taller. And life is balanced. It most definitely is. We're heading into the holiday season, but I watched hobby content. I watch a lot of hobby Instagram, and I watched the Jake Paul fight, the John Jones fight, and you see the difference between sort of showmanship and reality. I got to tell you, just as a quick aside here, I really wish for a second I could have gone back to sports betting this weekend because, man, was I right on both of those fights. And you got to give the Jake Pauls of the world a lot of credit for promoting that thing and making people believe, tapping into sort of the heart of folks like me who remember Mike Tyson as the animal that he was, just ready to kill somebody, death in the air anytime he walked towards the ring. My wife, even, we watched it, was Mike Tyson's gonna kill him. This is not a real fighter. He's gonna knock him out in the first round. And I said, Mike Tyson is 58 years old. This is all a big show, WWE style. Jake Paul's gonna win. This way he can set up the next one. There is no next one for Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is just a name and a draw. Jake Paul's gonna win, and it's gonna go the distance, and no one's gonna be embarrassed, and no one's gonna look stupid, and it's just it's gonna be a show, a la Hulk Hogan style, and it was. And the John Jones one, as soon as you knew that Stipe was retiring after this fight, one way or the other, that is the easiest thing in the world to bet from a UFC standpoint. That sport, more than anything else in the world, is that's a kill or be killed sport, and if you go in it with 1 foot already out the door, very, very hard. You're going in and fighting for what is your last paycheck. It's very, very hard to win. And these guys are all warriors. Obviously, I'm not saying he half-assed it or didn't give it his all. It's just one of those things, man. You can go back and check the record on that. When somebody announces they're retiring after the fight, very rarely do they come in and win. So anyway, finding balance. With that as the backdrop, I'm talking about the hobby. I'm talking about the hobby and finding balance in the hobby. And let's start it this way, right? I'm gonna do a fun little thing here. I'm gonna see how many I can name off the top of my head. The Drew Jones Bowman 1/1 Superfractor. Take $250,000 now or $1 million when he's in the Hall of Fame or some other mumbo jumbo. The Babe Ruth Retrofractor 1/1 and the Anthony Volpe MLB debut patch card and Nebulas left and right and the Triple Auto 1/1. Where the hell is that thing? And now it's the Skeens. Go meet Livy Dunn and hang out in her suite. I just named a bunch of cards you probably haven't even thought about for a while, although the Skeens card is all you're thinking about. It's all you're hearing about. It's all the talking heads are throwing out there. It's all the hobby content will let you read about. Skeens, would you take it? Would you take the Pittsburgh Pirates offer? Would you take the bounty? Would you go to Ken Golden? Before you accept the suite with Livy Dunn, come call Ken and get what I got for the Shohei Ohtani ball. Shohei Ohtani ball. I guess it's a good thing they sold it when they did. Not really much. Nobody talked about that. Think about that for a second. Think about the Drew Jones 101. That's not that long ago, guys. The Volpe, I think the bounty on that was like $150,000. That MLB debut patch. Obviously, the skins is more, and I'm sure there'll be some other bounties announced now. And why is it that we hear so much about them? They knock you down like the wave, right? They knock you down like a crane technique if done correctly. Can't defend against this as a hobby participant because it's just coming at you from all sides. You don't even know where they're hitting you. You cannot pick up your hobby social media today and not see the skiing stuff. All weekend, the skiing stuff. But what's funny is I wish I could get you in my DeLorean, just fast forward a month or two, and there will be something else. Because if you go back a month ago, it was Wemby and Mercury. If you go back a month before that, it was something else. And a month in the future, it'll be something else. And why? That's the machine. That is the hobby machine. That is the manufacturer machine. That is Topps and Fanatics getting you all excited and whipping you up for what you can buy now, for the product that is hot now. And then it's gone. It's gone. And replaced by something else. That'll be all you get to see and all you get to talk about and all you get to hear about. And the Skeens debut will be a thing of the past until something else comes and replaces it. Think about that for a second. Think about that and let it color your decisions. Because one of the fun posts that I saw this weekend, I wish I'd give the guy some credit for it. I'll try to find it. Maybe I'll add it into my YouTube, as a comment on there. Was somebody posted that they were looking to buy 2024 Topps Chrome Update, but saw the price of the box and instead went on eBay and bought 2022 Topps Chrome Update for basically half the price, sealed boxes. Now, we can take that from a different, a bunch of different ways, right? All right, well, who was the rookie in 2022? We kind of forget. I don't even know. Who was it? I don't remember. And they were sticker autos, and it's not the hot product right now, which carries some weight to it, right? Everybody wants to be opening today's product. You want to get that Ellie. You want to have a chance at the Paul Skeens. I opened 2 boxes and 2 megas myself, way overpriced. And man, did we get skunked. We got a whole bunch of nothing, man. We got a whole bunch of crap, my son and I. But it is like buying Mega Millions. I think what the Mega Millions is like almost $500 million this week already. It's up to. It's the same thing, I didn't buy Mega Millions to hopefully break even. I didn't buy, no one's happy when they buy $20 worth of Mega Millions and they win $4. But people keep buying it. Millions and millions of dollars are spent for that lottery ticket, and it's kind of what it's become, right? The average box is going to look like mine with a Taj Bradley auto. I seem to get a lot of Taj Bradley autos. I mean, maybe he just sits in the Topps office during the offseason and signs. I don't know. The UFC, we used to make fun. Jim Miller used to be the signature. They're Miller brothers, 2 of them. I think they live in Pennsylvania near the Topps office. But every box seemed to have a Miller auto in it. We used to laugh. I used to sell Jim Miller, who I think fought this past weekend also. I used to sell his autographs for $1. Because there were just too many of them. And maybe that's Taj Bradley. Who knows? But the average box is a Taj Bradley. The average Mega Millions lottery ticket is going to return nothing, just like the average box. And you have to go into it that way because it has become lotto tickets. It has become buy the Ohtani Topps Now for a chance to get the Ohtani Topps Now 1/1 autograph that's inscribed 50-50. Buy the Olympic team card for a chance to get the triple auto. And if you don't and you just get those base cards, you're like me, handing out Ohtani Topps Now cards at a show. Handing out LeBron, Durant, and Curry. Or selling them on eBay for $3 when you paid $11. That's the hobby. That's the space. So where's the balance come in? There are people out there saying that's not the hobby, that's not the space. Well, here's the fun part. The other side of the equation sometimes is just as bad, if not worse. I saw a post. I might take a picture of it. You know what? I love Brett from Stacking Slabs. Love him. Absolutely love him. And he posted something. Did I take a picture of it? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I should have taken a picture of it. He posted something on his page, and he is the epitome of a collector, right? Epitome of a collector. Yeah, here we go. Brett McGrath, Stacking Slabs. Right? Now, some people probably will like this. Okay, there's the post. Some people will like this. I think this post is the exact mirror image of the Drew Jones 1 of 1, because there are people out there who are, hey, we're collectors. We're going to collect what we love. We're going to collect, and there's nothing wrong with that. Go collect what you love, please. If you want to collect Babe Ruth, collect Babe Ruth. You want to collect Michael Jordan, collect Michael Jordan. I'm going to read you this. Brett, I love you. I love you. I saw this, and I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about it. When you're with your collection, everything else fades away. No notifications, no noise, no distractions. It's you, the cards, and the stories they tell. That time is yours. Nothing else matters. Really? I mean, I get what you're saying. I do. I get what you're saying. You love your cards. You love your collection. But that sounds a little weird. To me, if I'm somebody trying to bring somebody new into the space, as bad as the Drew Jones 1 of 1 Superfractor Bounty is, that's pretty bad too. You're alone with your cards. How's the lighting? You putting on some nice jazz music? Maybe a little bit of let's get it on. You get the cards. You just kind of, ooh, I got my collection, my 90s cards, just rubbing them on you. So what the hell are you talking about? Again, love the guy. Saw this post and was like, when you're with your collection, everything else fades away. Okay. Nothing else matters. I get what you're trying to say, pal. All the other nonsense and the distractions and all the other fun stuff is silly. I'm talking about it myself, right? All the other triple autos and the Paul Skeens and the Livy Dunns and the Bounties and all. I get what you're trying to say. Man, I read that and I was like, shit. Nah. I mean, I can hang out with my cards and look at them and, I got a heck of a nice 33 Gowdy collection. I got a lot of vintage baseball cards, and they're fun to look at, and I show them off. I got a whole bunch of Jackie Robinson. I started a whole Jackie Robinson PC. But, I mean, nothing else matters. I mean, okay, dude, if you're able to fall into that type of tunnel vision, just my cards and nothing else, no baby screaming in the background, no kids yelling, come take me outside and play and throw the ball around, you're able to block it all out, cool. That's cool. I don't think many people can do that. And I don't really know many people want to. It's a hobby. I mean, I get what you're trying to say, man. I really do. And I've always been a fan of Brett and Stacking Slabs. But, man, that post got a little weird. It got as weird to me as the posts about the Bounties. Enough on Brett. I like the guy a lot. But, you see, that was like it was a little too romantic for me. And that's the fun part, right? And this is the balance. How do we find the balance? How do you not swing the pendulum from one side? You are bounties and who cares, and it's Vegas and ding, 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 and put your money in the Topps Now slot machine and boom, 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 and ding, 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 buy some Topps Chrome update, and hopefully you get the pull Skeens. If you don't, just throw the rest of it in the garbage and go back and pull the arm again. The other end of the you're turning the lights down low and you get the Barry White on and you're alone with your collection and nothing else matters. I'm not quite sure I want to be on either of those camps. So how do you balance it out? How do you find that middle? A lot of people can't. And they're gone. A lot of people listening to this now who are thinking about leaving. A lot of people who were listening to a lot of hobby content over the last couple of years have left. I refuse to believe that those two camps are all that's left. It can't be like politics. It can't just be the crazy right and the crazy left yelling and screaming at each other. There has to be some balance. There has to be some reasonable middle where you can buy some cards, you can buy some packs, and you can take some chances, and you can also collect some cards, collect a guy you like, collect a sport you like, collect a team you like. I'm a little nervous about the space because it seems to just be those two paths and not enough in the middle. Are you in the middle? How are you finding your way? Are you blocking out the noise from both sides? Is that even possible? How are you able to balance it all out? Do you allow yourself to get swept up by both? If you do, does either side want you? Because if you're an investor, the collectors scowl at you. And if you're a collector, and the investors don't want you. It's an interesting space. And I'm curious to see how it looks in 6 months, because I'm sure Brett will still be here. He makes great content. He really does. I'm sure the tops will still be here. I'm sure there'll be another bounty by the end of the year. I don't know what the answer is for you guys. I can tell you, just from a personal standpoint, it's a question that I grapple with my son. Because we open the boxes of cards, and I got to tell you, we open a box of soccer cards, we opened 2 boxes of Topps Chrome and 2 mega boxes, and you're talking about spending like $600 on a Friday. And not everybody can do that, and I'm blessed that I'm able to do it. But we open the boxes and we rip through them and we get garbage, literal garbage. And we get a couple dollars worth of cards, maybe $50 combined for the $600 we spend. And what's funny about it, I find us being like angry, angry about it. Yeah, we rip through them and it's like, all right, we're done. Let's go, move on to the next thing. And he picks up his phone and plays a video game. And the funny thing is that there are collectors out there saying, you should just buy what you love, man. Go on eBay, go to a show, buy what you love. All right, well, here's the problem with that, guys. Most collectors are collecting something that they bought, that they liked when they were a kid. Now, you try to bring kid collectors in now, like my son. He wants to buy players from now. He wants to buy players he sees now. He wants to buy the hot guy that he watches on TV now. But 99% of the time, he's going to get murdered on that. You collectors don't realize that if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan and you're buying cards of Quentin Coryat now, 2 decades, 3 decades after he played and retired, you're not going to get hurt on that card because you're the only person in the world who wants it. Ken Dilger's PMG, please. Whoever the hell's holding that, they're thrilled you took it off their hands. But if you're trying to buy a card of someone who's popular now, it's not going to hold its value, and that's broken. But it's always been that way. And it's a tough little thing that I'm trying to balance out. Building a PC at the same time as trying to rip wax with my son. and not get too killed on the wallet, man. I mean, I got money, but I mean, it hurts every now and again. You know, every Thursday comes and I ask him, hey, should we put the $200 in the stock market this week? Very rarely does he say yes. I'm really pulling for him to say yes and just save me some money, put $200 in the stock market instead of going and buying more wax and getting junk for it. It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys don't mind my little rant here today. Brett, you know I love you, man. That post is an interesting little thing. It is what it is. You know, I mean, hopefully you guys don't mind my little rant. It's my own little hobby journey because, you know, I collected a long time ago. And I will tell you guys, I collected with my dad. And I remember it. It was the mid-90s and football cards were just getting in vogue. And we were buying a ton of Drew Bledsoe cards. And I still have them all and no one wants them. It'd be easy for me to buy Drew Bledsoe now. It probably cost me less than what I was paying in the 90s. And I remember who was huge back then. Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Dan Marino, Brett Favre every now and again, but he wasn't as valuable as them. Marino and Emmitt Smith were the chases in 94 and 95. Not Barry Sanders. I mean, he was a chase, but nowhere near the value of Emmett or any of these other guys. Jerry Rice also. Valuable, but not the top guy. And what's funny about it was I have cards that I remember what I paid for them, and they are less now. And I remember opening wax with my dad and chasing these cards. And what's funny is I wish we would have just bought something else. But that wasn't what we wanted. It wasn't what I wanted as a kid. And looking back, sure, I wish I would have just bought, you know, Mickey Mantle 1952 Topps cards instead of buying boxes of Zenith football, which turned out to be total junk. So I know that lesson. I know the lesson I'm going to try to learn from and teach my son. And yet, at the same time, he's not going to stay if I tell him, let's just buy vintage baseball cards. Because it is no fun for him. But then again, we open up wax, and that's no fun either. So what's a girl to do? And there you go, my Monday morning rant. I hope you enjoyed it, because it was brought to you by Arena Club and Bleecker Trading. Check them out, guys. Little slab packs. Check out Bleecker, new store on the Upper West Side. Always got something going on. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Brett, I love you. I'm not trying to come at you. You know that. But man, I had to. That post. I pictured you, man, with like, you know, maybe a smoking jacket on, a little Hugh Hefner, a little music playing in the background, just alone in a room, smoke billowing, and you got the cards, and you're caressing your Colts collection. It's just the way I pictured it. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.